The Prospect Park Polar Bears. It was a chilly night in Brooklyn when a group of boys snuck into Prospect Park Zoo after closing. The polar bear exhibit, quiet and dimly lit, featured a deep moat separating the public from the bears. The water glistened under faint moonlight. An 11-year-old boy and his friends dared each other to cross the boundary. The boy climbed over the fence and jumped into the moat. He may have imagined a quick swim and a triumphant return to his friends. Unbeknownst to him, 2 adult polar bears slid into the water and reached him with terrifying speed. The boy froze, and within seconds the bears mauled him. Police officers, alerted by the boys, arrived and fired upon the animals, killing them, but the child was already gone. The scene horrified responding officers, who later described it as beyond comprehension. There was nothing anyone could do to save the boy, and 2 animals lost their lives, defending their territory. This tragedy underscores the lethal consequences of trespassing into animal enclosures. Moats, fences, and signs exist for a reason. Ignoring them can lead to a fatal chain reaction affecting both humans and animals. The Painted Dog Exhibit. At Pittsburgh Zoo's African Painted Dog Exhibit, brightly colored signs depict the playful yet ferocious pack. Visitors peer down from a viewing platform protected by a wooden railing and a catch basin designed to keep dropped items from falling in. Below, 11 painted dogs pace restlessly. A mother, wanting to give her young son a better look, lifted him onto the railing. For a moment, he giggled as he pointed at the dogs. Then, in a heartbeat, he lost his balance and tumbled into the enclosure, bypassing both the railing and the catch basin. The pack's instincts kicked in immediately. The dogs attacked the child as zookeepers scrambled to intervene. Some animals were lured away, but one continued biting until a police officer shot it. The child died at the scene. Visitors screamed and wept. Investigations questioned whether the enclosure design adequately protected against falls and whether parents understood the risk. Lawsuits followed, but no design can replace vigilant supervision. Children rely on adults to keep them safe. In zoos, that means keeping them off railings and away from the edge. A split second of carelessness can lead to irreversible loss. Behind the rail. On a humid afternoon in September 2014, visitors crowded around the white tiger exhibit at Delhi Zoo. Tropical birds chirped, and a rare white tiger paced behind a wide moat. Signs clearly warned guests to stay back. A young man climbed over the railing to get a closer look. He slipped and fell 15 feet into the moat, landing mere feet from the tiger. For several minutes he sat, trying not to provoke the animal, while bystanders shouted and threw stones to distract it. The white tiger eventually lunged, grabbing him by the neck and dragging him away. The attack was mercifully swift, ending his life almost instantly. There was chaos above. Some people screamed, others recorded, and zoo staff searched for tranquilizers that they did not have. By the time help arrived, there was nothing to save. Questions lingered about whether more could have been done. Curiosity and disregard for warnings can turn a zoo visit deadly. Barriers and signs aren't suggestions, they're lifelines. Respecting them is the difference between leaving with a memory and never leaving at all. The Arena Incident. At Switzerland's Zurich Zoo on a bright July Saturday, the big cat exhibit buzzed with families and tourists. The air smelled of hay and damp earth, and the regal presence of Siberian tigers drew visitors to the glass barriers. Behind those walls lay a private world where keepers managed the animals in carefully timed routines. One of those keepers, a 55-year-old woman, entered the enclosure to carry out her duties. She had spent years tending to the tigers, confident in the daily rhythm and safety protocols. Visitors watched her through the glass, perhaps admiring her proximity to the giant predators. For a moment it seemed like just another day at work. Then, in an instant, that sense of routine shattered. A tigress named Arena lunged, pouncing on the keeper and inflicting fatal wounds. Screams echoed through the exhibit as the predator's instincts took over. The attack was swift, brutal, and, for onlookers, unfathomable. Guests frantically alerted staff. Other keepers hurried to lure Arena away while the wounded woman lay motionless. Emergency responders arrived, but there was nothing to be done. The investigation would later reveal that 2 people had been in the enclosure at the same time, violating safety protocols. Zoos may appear safe, but behind every exhibit are strict rules designed to protect humans and animals alike. When those rules break down, even for a seasoned keeper, the consequences can be fatal. The Arena incident reminds us that big cats are never truly domesticated, and complacency can cost lives. When a gate fails. Project Survival's Cat Haven is a private zoo nestled in the foothills of California's Sierra Nevada. Enclosures are secured with heavy gates and double locks. Inside, lions prowl behind chain-link fences, away from the pine-scented pathways visitors walk. In March 2013, a young intern entered an area adjacent to a 5-year-old lion's enclosure. She spoke to a coworker on her cell phone as she cleaned. The lion had been fed and was confined to a smaller cage, or so she believed. Somehow, the lion lifted a partially closed gate with his paw and entered the main enclosure. He lunged, breaking her neck instantly. Scratches and claw marks sustained after death showed he continued pawing at her. Responding deputies later shot the lion when he refused to leave her body. The coroner ruled the death a tragic accident. Her family said she died doing what she loved, but the investigation focused on the gate mechanism and whether safety protocols were strictly followed. Cat Haven stressed its incident-free history prior to that day. When working with big cats, every latch and lock matters. Even a small oversight can open a path to disaster. Passion for animals must always be paired with caution.